You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Today, a staple of four-state TV history enters the Regional Broadcasting Hall of Fame.
Though up the flood watches in anticipation of what's going to transpire in the next 48 hours, we've got the latest from the Skywatch Weather Center.
And when a teacher in Andover, Kansas lost his home to last weekend's tornado, the town quickly rallied behind him. All that and more.
Watch News starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Coffeyville, Kansas man receives his sentence for a shooting death. Ruben Ruiz Robles is sentenced to a maximum of 32 months for the April 2021 death of Chris Temple in Coffeyville. As part of a deal, Ruiz Robles pleaded no contest to involuntary manslaughter in the case. Prosecutor dropped the original charge of first-degree murder after two key witnesses chose not to testify on the state's behalf. A judge in Jasper County, Missouri sentences a man to multiple life sentences for child sex crimes. Daniel Chavez was found guilty of 4 counts of statutory sodomy, 1 count of child molestation, 1 count of attempted statutory sodomy, and 2 counts of furnishing pornographic material to a minor. All 4 of the statutory sodomy charges carry a life sentence. The rest of the sentences will run concurrent to those sentences. An Ottawa County, Oklahoma man learns his fate for sexually abusing a minor. Authorities say in 2020, 39-year-old Jeremy Lawhorn contacted the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office to report he needed to confess a crime. Lawhorn admitted to inappropriately touching a 12-year-old. After a dispute over jurisdiction, he was federally indicted for sexual abuse of a minor in Indian country. This week, a federal judge sentenced Lawhorn to 30 months in prison, followed by 10 years of supervised release. Missouri Southern enshrines a piece of four-state TV history. The university's Regional Broadcasting Hall of Fame on Tuesday inducted the program Melody Matinee. Melody Matinee aired for more than 30 years on KOAM TV, featured a long list of musical performers who became local legends. Dale Switzer, who produced our recent documentary on the program, says Melody Matinee and its host, Lou Martin, captured the spirit of the four states.
I was a director on the show, one of many, probably directed somewhere between 300 and 500 episodes of it. But I made no contribution really to the content of the show. The basic idea was to keep the camera pointed in the right direction most of the time.
Carol Stark was also inducted into the Hall of Fame last night. Stark was the executive editor of the Joplin Globe until her death in 2019. Well, pack your bags, get out of the house. This week marks the start of National Tourism Week. One of the main tourist attractions in the country is Route 66. On Tuesday, a tourist group of 25 people from the Czech Republic stopped in Joplin while touring Route 66. Their trek started in Illinois and will end in Santa Monica, California. The group's president says he cannot pick a favorite spot along the route.
Oh no, I have no favor on Route 66 because the favorite is all Route 66 together. No place are. I cannot prefer any place. All is good together.
The Czech Route 66 Association will make the trip back across Route 66 later this month, starting in California and ending in Illinois. Well, just in case you don't feel like traveling tonight or next Wednesday night, the hit Fox TV series Domino Masters knocks down the competition at 8 o'clock. You can be a part of it with a special Fox 14 giveaway. All you have to do is register now at KOAMnewsnow.com/giveaway for a chance to win an exclusive Domino Masters domino set. Deadline to register is next Wednesday night, May the 11th, and the drawing will be held the following day. You can get all the contest details and rules, same address. Must be 18 years old to register. And then watch the semifinals of Domino Masters tonight and the finals next Wednesday. Now, just so you know, no dominoes were harmed in the making of this promo or the TV series Domino Masters. No promises on what's going to happen later this morning. I think I might attempt to build something with this master set. I was given permission to open it. Check this out.
You attempt to build something, and I will call Danica McKellar.
Check out the set that we're giving away, though.
We can get her in to judge.
I'm not the one that actually opened it, but this is huge.
This is huge.
Humongous.
Can you imagine if we had Winnie Cooper in studio?
I'm going to try to do something on this desk. in the matter of like 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there. You know, I get like a 30-second break here and there.
Okay.
See what I can do.
Okay. In the words of Sean Connery, Godspeed.
It'll be fine.
Skywatch Storm Tracker with the rain filtering in from the south, so we're underway. Now, this is nothing like what we're going to have later on this afternoon. This is just the beginning of it, but now we're actually seeing some action on the radar. Give you an idea of what's headed our way. Look at this mess that they have down in Oklahoma City. Heavy rain to go with thunder and lightning. They've had that all morning long. Tracking I-44 and 49 if you're going to be headed south on either of our interstates. That's where you're going to run into much more rain than if you're headed up to the north or if you're headed on 44 out towards Springfield. As far as what we're seeing over 7th and Range Line, turn the camera down there to the south right there because that's where the rain was moving in from. 51 degrees, temperatures pretty reminiscent of what we started off with yesterday, from mid-40s to low 50s. But the important aspect as far as what we'll see for the next 48 hours is look at this weather trend in the very top on those panels. Once the rain starts, it does not want to stop, and that is precisely why the flood watches are in effect all the way until 1 o'clock tomorrow. Now, this is kind of interesting. Just a little bit ago, I was looking at what's down in Oklahoma City, and I was like, you know, I wonder if we could get like a good gauge on exactly the direction it's taking. How about that? Everything progressing from the southwest up to the northeast, headed right our way. Here's a future track as it begins to gather. It's going to be moments of very hard rain. Thunder, lightning. That's why flooding is our main concern with the amount of rain that we'll get. As you drop down to the south, especially with that band that rolls right there from late tonight into early Thursday morning. High wind and the threat of hail accompanying that for our southern counties. Push through, little intermittent break every now and then. Well, yeah, but doesn't really stop until we get into Friday morning. Now, on the bright side of it all, Mother's Day weekend is going to be delightful. Mother's Day weekend, in fact, is going to be a little bit toasty. Close to 80, 85 on Mother's Day itself, and we are going to need every moment of it to dry out after what's going to happen from today all the way through Thursday.
All right. Well, up next.
Winnie Cooper's not shown up in the studio yet to
No,
judge.
so I'm on my own. Michael, how are you with a steady hand?
No, I'm not a steady hand, but I tell you what, if those dominoes had numbers on them, I know exactly what we'd be doing
No,
right
we don't
now.
have numbers, but I think we can do something.
Wiseman and I, we'd team up right now, take anybody down if they had numbers on them.
All right, up next, Tara Solomon-Smith from the K-State Extension Office heads into the KOAM studio. We're going to be talking about stay strong, stay healthy. And later, new research shows how nurses benefit from regular medication training. We'll explain after the break. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. How common are medical errors in home care staff and the struggle to lose weight during the pandemic? Michael George has some of the day's top health stories.
A new survey finds 3/4 of obese adults tried to lose weight in the past year, but most have not been successful. The survey of nearly 2,000 adults with obesity from 6 European countries shows 81% used diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but only 25% achieved good weight loss. New research in Germany highlights the importance of regular medication training for nurses. A survey of 485 trained nurses finds nearly half made at least one error administering medications within the last year. Nurses who received recent training were less likely to make mistakes. And markers of heart health and diabetes are detectable in overweight children from the age of 6 years old. That's according to a new study of nearly 1,000 Danish children. Overweight and obese children are more likely to remain overweight and obese into adolescence and adulthood, increasing their risk of heart disease and diabetes later in life. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
No surprise, but your diet can also have a positive effect on your heart. Researchers in Israel found those who intake meals high in zinc, B3, and protein are more likely to see benefits in their cardiac health. Team studied 72 volunteers who took part in a weight loss program for a year. They found those following the Mediterranean diet, which includes foods like whole grains, nuts, and fish, had a positive response to evaluations measuring blood flow and arterial blood vessels. Scientists say this diet can help preserve the heart's well-being. Well, Well, masks may no longer be mandatory on public transit, but the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention still recommends them. The agency released a statement on Tuesday saying anyone older than 2 years old should still wear a face mask while using public transportation like airplanes, trains, and buses. Mandate was set to expire Tuesday, but a federal judge struck it down last month. CDC has asked the government to appeal the ruling. More information pointing to the notion that getting a yearly COVID-19 booster could become as routine as getting a flu shot. Top officials with the Food and Drug Administration say the U.S. might need to update its COVID vaccines every year. In a report published Monday in the journal JAMA, the officials said the widespread global presence of the virus that causes COVID-19 is the new normal. The researchers also said getting a new updated COVID booster every fall could save lives and help minimize societal disruptions. An Australian freerunner scales the iconic Sydney Opera House in a unique performance of athleticism. Dominic Di Tommaso was given permission to free run in the rafters of the large concert hall. Good thing he got permission. He performed a series of jumps, flips, and sprints, culminating in the first ever backflip on top of the building's white sails. Di Tommaso called the experience a dream and career highlight. He worked with Red Bull to bring his vision to life. Di Tommaso has also free run on the pyramids of Egypt and through Istanbul's Grand Bazaar in Turkey.
It's pretty cool to watch how they shot the entire thing. I saw a special on it. The video and the way that they pulled it off. No thank you for me. Number one, I just pulled a hamstring watching him. Number two, me and heights up there without a rail, ain't happening.
That's really cool though. Really cool.
Ain't happening. Can you imagine the amount of paperwork that he had to sign as far as insurance releases?
Yeah, if you die, it's not on us. Basically.
What is that movie, Along Came Polly? I just became the Ben Stiller character where I'm just like risk averse to everything now in my life.
Right.
I'm like, no, that's way too dangerous. What are we doing? Temperatures right now, we got 51 in Joplin and in Neodesha, 50 in Nevada, 49 in Monette, and 51 in Miami. Let's dive down to the south with the rain beginning to enter our highlighted counties. Slowly but surely and rather sporadic right now. Down to Newada County, seeing a little of an uptick. But as we push down here, this is where everything's essentially going to gather. Think about it as like a holding pattern before it takes off toward us. And lightning strikes, that's the last 5 minutes. If we were to back this up and say, how much lightning have they got in the past half hour? Yeah, it is abundant. And it's not going to be one of those that likes to calm down before it gets to us. So that's kind of where we sit. If you're going to be, headed out the door here in the next hour, hour and a half, you're good to go. Do not leave without the umbrella, though. That is for sure. As we take a look at our flood watches, this is what we're sitting on all the way until Thursday. And nationally speaking, we kind of find ourselves on the far northern end of it. It stretches down to the south all the way on the other side of the Red River up through North Texas. Nationally speaking, we are in the heart of it and right there in the middle of Oklahoma. Like I said, that's kind of our gathering and holding ground for this morning. Our temperatures are going to be in the low 60s, considerably cooler than what we'd anticipate for the beginning of May. But I think the most important thing is the panels that just have rain, 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 and more rain all the way from today into Thursday. So there we go, really getting on it for the afternoon hours. The thunder and the lightning, and then as we get into Wednesday night, say from about 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Thursday morning. Watch this band roll through right here. This one is not fooling around. And that's why as you drop down to the south, the high winds and the hail posing a problem as well. Little intermittent break, think we're done? Nah, just continues to backfill as the timeline takes us all the way to Friday. So here we are on the severe thunderstorm risk map. Like I said, nationally speaking, right there in the heart of it. That elevated area there in the brown, that's part of Oklahoma City. Then you get on the other side of it, and our counties in northeast Oklahoma find themselves in that low category. But still, once again, flooding, just that is first and foremost. A little bit of a warm-up Thursday. Be done with the rain on Friday. Great looking Mother's Day weekend. Scraping to 80 on Saturday. Mid-80s on Mother's Day is south. We'll be back. We've got Tara Solomon-Smith joining us in studio with the Wildcat Wednesday update right after this. Find ourselves here on a Wildcat Wednesday with Tara Solomon-Smith of the K-State Extension Office, Wildcat District. Tara, thank you so much for your time, and great to have you back in studio. It's certainly one of the things that I miss. One of the great things about the Extension District and what you and your organization was able to do during the pandemic was you did your best to put on classes and through Zoom,
Right.
It's not the same.
No.
It's not the same, especially when you get somebody like me that has trouble logging on, and generationally, as I get older, my technology does get worse. What has it been like for the Wildcat District and you in particular to open these classes back up and have people in person?
Yes, it's refreshing and we're excited, and just did a class last night, and you just feel refreshed after getting people together and more positive and being able to talk.
And I love that this newest class, Stay Strong, Stay Healthy, because speaking of being locked up during a pandemic, there just wasn't a whole lot of physical activity going on. And so the goal here is like I said, as far as people getting older, is to be able to maintain our strength as we move down the road. Can you talk about the importance of that and maybe something that we took for granted for the past couple of years?
Oh yes, definitely. So I don't know about you, but I've reached that age where it takes me a little bit in the mornings to limber up, right? So keep our balance and flexibility. And a lot of times we talk about getting our heart rate up, which is excellent, but strength training helps that balance and flexibility as well. And obviously, any kind of movement boosts your mood and being around others. And it's amazing how much it helps with daily living, just getting up and down stairs, up and down a curb, out of your car, carrying in groceries. There's a lot of plays into it.
Yeah, I didn't think about the grocery aspect of it all. And so once again, the class is called Stay Strong, Stay Healthy. But when you talk to me about weight training, I think, do I have to go to the YMCA? Do I have to find a bench press? Do I have to find a squat machine?
Right. And that can be daunting and overwhelming, right?
Yes.
Yes, so Stay Strong, Stay Healthy, we start without weights. You do the movement, you learn the movement, keep it controlled and slow. We have fun beforehand because you want to warm up those muscles and then stretch and then actually exercise. So we play music, we warm up with our scarves. You can do it you can warm up while you're even sitting in your chair. There's a lot of adaptations, and it doesn't have to be scary. And that's a great thing about coming together and doing it together as well.
Because what you brought here, when you tell me, oh wait, it's as simple as using what you've brought, these don't look daunting. This kind of makes me go, oh wait, these are things that I can use.
Yeah, or even a can of soup from your house.
Really?
For a weight.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because the ultimate goal, now this is an in-person class, Stay Strong, Stay Healthy, but these are life skills that we can take out of the classroom and keep going. Is that correct?
Yes. Once you're through the class, we encourage groups to continue them at home. A lot of times our groups will actually continue meeting on their own. That togetherness and accountability helps, and just getting out around people helps more than just the physical.
That's interesting you say that, because the accountability factor is the one that I was really hoping that you were going to hit upon. So kind of take me through a class. How long does it last? What exactly can I expect when I walk in the room?
Sure. So we usually do a circle so that we can see the motions, do them together. We again warm up our muscles, and then we spend time stretching, and then we get down to the exercises. We count out loud. We encourage everybody to count, because one, that helps you keep breathing, not holding your breath while you're concentrating and doing that exercise. And also it helps you to, again, slow down, because it needs to be a controlled motion. And we just practice together, and they build on to one another. The first class isn't as long because we're not doing as many reps. And we're not using weights. We don't start out with the weights. Okay. I wouldn't be ready to start out with the weights at the beginning. It builds on itself.
What have you heard from people that have been part of this? This is not Tara's first rodeo. What have you heard from people that have taken part in your past classes? What's the feedback that you've gotten from them?
It's amazing. One of the biggest feedback is my health no longer hinders what I can do, my other activities.
That's interesting.
It's a big increase on that. Also, just the ability, they no longer need to hold on to the car while they're getting up onto a curb. That was kind of an aha moment for me as I heard someone tell me that. It's amazing what kind of, it also builds on bone density. It can improve that. But the balance and being able to, the exercises help when you're walking on uneven ground, hilly, it's, an incline, you struggle when you lose your.
So it almost gives me the impression that coming out of this Stay Strong, Stay Healthy class is you have improved my independence as I get older as well.
Yes.
And maybe I'm not relying on other people, but maybe not even relying on the objects around me. Right. So I feel safer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now I want to be a part of it. How do I get involved?
Right, so you just call one of our local offices. We rotate our Stay Strong, Stay Healthy. Then the upcoming one is in Fredonia, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 days a week for 8 weeks. Small time commitment. Yes. It's in the morning this time, but again, it rotates. If you want to get out and about and maybe you don't live close to Fredonia, thanks to Age Well and a couple of other donors, we have an upcoming event at Franklin Community Park. All ages are welcome. We're going to get out in the fresh air, move, and we're actually going to plant or do a take-home plant. Thanks to Zone 6.
That's great. And that's coming up next Thursday, right?
Next Thursday, May 12th, 6 p.m.
Okay, so all you have to do is call, just call the K-State Extension District office near you, doesn't matter which one. Tell them that you want more information about Stay Strong, Stay Healthy. That's the name of it, Stay Strong, Stay Healthy. Ask them how you can be a part of it now. Ask them when it's coming to your area. And then also, while you're on the phone, say, hey, will you tell me more about the Age Well Move 22?
Yes.
Because that's coming up next Thursday.
Yes,
Franklin
thank you.
Park? Is that right?
Franklin Community Park.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tara Solomon-Smith from the Wildcat Extension District. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. I had no idea that just simple exercises like that could really improve my quality of life as I get older.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
It's time to honor today's four-state hero, Robert Crawford. Private Crawford served in the Army. He served from 1948 to 1953 and went to Korea with the 1st Cavalry Unit. That's where he earned a Purple Heart. A native of Boonville, Missouri, a little bit outside the 4 states, we thank you, Robert Crawford. Well, people in Andover, Kansas, a suburb of Wichita, are picking up the pieces after an EF3 tornado rips through the town. Teacher there lost his home during the tornado, but the community rallied to help him. TJ Cleland has more.
As the tornado rolled through Andover late Friday night, it destroyed Jacob Britton's home.
It's a very frightening thing when you know that you've got a direct hit and you don't know what's going to be upstairs.
Britton and his wife hid from the storm in a storage closet in their basement. When they came back out, they were devastated to find what was left of their home.
We used to have, our wall back here was TV, couch here. I think that's our wall that was there. Somehow something went through the window and punched through the wall. We actually had a fence post. We took it out, but a fence post was in our wall through right there.
Britton just started teaching at Andover Central 2 years ago, and already his students and coworkers are rallying around him to help with the damage.
And even the night of, I had a former student from down the street just screaming my name, checking on me, and helped me out of my house. So
Britton students say they've already made a lasting connection with their teacher.
I know I could go to him if I had anything I need to talk about, and not just school related, and I know a lot of kids feel that way.
And now, as Britton picks up the pieces of what remains, his students are doing whatever they can to pay it forward.
And it's funny, you go into teaching to tell them or make a difference in their lives, but right now they're the ones that really made a big difference, helping me get whatever I could.
Authorities say around 8 people in the Andover area were injured in the storms. Another half hour of news and weather is just ahead. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14, Starbucks issues a warning to its workers about future union efforts. And not only is the price of a new home going up, but so is the cost to build one. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back.
4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:34. Let's take a look at today's top stories. A judge sentences a Coffeyville, Kansas man to prison for a shooting death. Ruben Ruiz Robles is sentenced to a maximum of 32 months for the April 2021 death of Chris Temple in Coffeyville. As part of a deal, Ruiz Robles pleaded no contest to involuntary manslaughter in the case. Prosecutor dropped the original charge of first-degree murder after two key witnesses chose not to testify on the state's behalf. A judge in Jasper County, Missouri sentences a man to multiple terms of life in prison for child sex crimes. Daniel Chavez was found guilty of 4 counts of statutory sodomy, 1 count of child molestation, 1 count of attempted statutory sodomy, 2 counts of furnishing pornographic material to a minor. All 4 of the statutory sodomy charges carry a life sentence. The rest of the sentences will run concurrent to those sentences. And an Ottawa County, Oklahoma man is sentenced for sexually abusing a minor. Authorities say in 2020, 39-year-old Jeremy Lawhorn contacted the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office to report that he needed to confess a crime. Lawhorn admitted to inappropriately touching a 12-year-old. After a dispute over jurisdiction, he was federally indicted for sexual abuse of a minor in Indian country. This week, a federal judge sentenced Lawhorn to 30 months in prison, followed by 10 years of supervised release. Abortions are now banned in Oklahoma after a fetal heartbeat is detected. On Tuesday, Governor Kevin Stitt signed a Texas-style abortion ban prohibiting abortions when a heartbeat is detected in the fetus. Experts say that's typically about 6 weeks into a pregnancy before some women know they are pregnant. Like the Texas law, it also allows private citizens to sue abortion providers or anyone who helps a woman obtain an abortion for up to $10,000. Staff members at Meadowlark Elementary in Pittsburgh are showing their appreciation for one another. One staff member came up with a game called Survivor for teachers and staff to play this week. Each day, staff members spin a wheel with different challenges on it for prizes. Those challenges include things like recreating pictures of animals, leaving a nice note for someone, or doing a dance.
As a building, we're trying to earn 400 points, and then we get a bonus day of activity. And today's been our first day, and so far they're loving it. They're having so much fun.
At the end of the week, a grand prize will be handed out to the game's winner. McDonald County Elementary School is working to increase enrollment of preschoolers and kindergarten-aged children. White Rock Elementary in Pineville says kindergarten enrollment is down this year compared to most years, and now teachers are reaching out to parents of young kids to make sure their students are enrolled. School officials say it's important to know class sizes early so educators can plan ahead.
Catch issues that are going on in pre-K before they get to kindergarten, then we can help solve some of the problems that we might see in kindergarten. It's also just important to have them come into a setting where they can learn to sit, follow directions, play with others, share, some of the things that sometimes kids who don't have siblings don't have to do normally.
Experts also say kids in early childhood education programs usually have improved social skills and do better in school. One thing kids love is dominoes, and the hit Fox TV series Domino Masters heads into its season finale with the semifinals tonight at 8 o'clock. That's on Fox 14, this channel, and the finals next Wednesday. You can be a part of it with a special Fox 14 giveaway. All you have to do is register now, KOAMnewsnow.com/giveaway, for a chance to win an exclusive Domino Masters domino set. Deadline to register is next Wednesday night, May the 11th, and the drawing will be held the following day. You can get all the contest details and rules, same address, and you must be 18 or older to register. Just watch the semifinals of Domino Masters tonight, the finals next Wednesday. Now, I will give a disclaimer. The dominoes will have been played with.
Buy one, Tanya Bach.
Working on it.
That dude.
This is either going to be really cool or
it'll be awesome,
or just kind of a dud.
What are you talking about?
I guess we'll find out.
No,
it's a work in progress. I keep changing my game plan.
Why are you being negative Nelly on this?
I got like 15 minutes to finish it, so
I think it's going to be great.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
We'll knock this off at the end
I
of the
want
show.
you walking into this being like, this is awesome.
I know. I wish I had time to work on it.
I'll give you a little time because I've got to talk about a severe thunderstorm warning down to the southwest of us.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, here's what we got cooking. This is, like I said, this has kind of been our holding and gathering pattern down by Oklahoma City. Once again, I want to stress the severe thunderstorm warning does not affect us, but it gives you an idea of what this thing is punching, packing a punch, and you'll notice how that moves from the southwest up to the northeast. So it's kind of headed our way. Now, as far as what rain we're seeing so far, working its way, kind of two separate batches. One coming out of northwest Arkansas that has now made its way up through Newton and a little bit into Jasper County as well. Then the second one coming out of northeast Oklahoma, creeping across the state line into portions of southeast Kansas. So everything arrives there from the south. We have flood watches in effect all day long into tomorrow. So here's what FutureTrack has in store for us. Once we get started later this morning, it is going to be pretty much nonstop, and I want to pay special attention to this band from about 9 p.m. tonight to 2 a.m. on Thursday. There it is. That thing's going to throw thunder, lightning, and the possibility of high wind and hail with it as well. You'll notice how it backspins on it. That's why it lasts all the way into Friday morning. Easily picking up 1 to 3 inches of rain. That's probably a little bit of an understatement for low-lying areas. So go ahead and anticipate flooding for the evening commute and all day tomorrow. We'll be back with more KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this. This morning on the KOAM News Now Facebook page and our Insta poll, Roe versus Wade, as a leaked Supreme Court draft opinion set off national debate over abortion rights across America. Since the leak, Chief Justice John Roberts has confirmed the authenticity of the document. It's a 98-page opinion written by Associate Justice Samuel Alito, writing, quote, "We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled." Casey, the 1992 ruling upholding Roe v. Wade. Our question for you this morning, are you for or against Roe versus Wade? About as close as you can get right now. 52% say you are for keeping it, 48% say it needs to be changed. Appreciate everybody's engagement each and every morning. A royal security breach in Great Britain as an intruder pretending to be a priest talks his way past guards near Windsor Castle. Ian Lee with the story from London.
The security slip-up happened just down the road from Windsor Castle last week. A man, posing as a priest, made his way into the barracks of the Queen's Coldstream Guards, known for their red jackets and bearskin hats. He reportedly spent the night eating and drinking with senior officers before getting a bed and breakfast the next morning.
I think what was especially concerning is that he was almost embraced by that regiment, and particularly the officers of that regiment, into open arms.
Police removed the man the following morning, but didn't arrest him. The Queen wasn't home at the time. The military released a statement saying the Army takes this breach of security extremely seriously, and it will be thoroughly investigated as a matter of priority. This is the second intruder at Windsor in months. A man scaled the castle wall on Christmas Day, hoping to attack the Queen with a crossbow.
Each time we have an incident like this is obviously embarrassing, not only domestically, but internationally as well.
The investigation comes just weeks before thousands of tourists descend on Windsor to celebrate Queen Elizabeth's 70 years on the throne. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
On top of that, British newspapers say the intruder was telling tall tales about serving in Iraq. That started to raise suspicion in the first place. We'll be back with consumer news right after this.
Starbucks is warning its workers that voting for a union could affect future wages. The coffee chain said it would raise wages back in October. Tuesday, its interim CEO said the company will honor that commitment even if employees vote to unionize. But after that, future pay hikes may not apply to workers in unionized stores. CEO blamed a federal law that he says prohibits promising new wages and benefits at stores involved in union organizing. That's because unions often participate in collective bargaining with companies to raise wages. So far, 237 Starbucks-owned locations have filed petitions with the National Labor Relations Board, and about 46 stores have voted to unionize. 5 locations voted against joining a union. A new analysis shows Asian American women earn an average of 25% less than non-Hispanic white men. The National Asian Pacific American Women's Forum looked at census data from 2020 for its report. Nepalese women face the largest pay gap, earning just 44 cents for every dollar a white man earns. Pakistani, Thai, and Vietnamese women were also toward the bottom of the list. According to the Department of Labor, unemployment benefits for Asian Americans spiked by 450% in 2020. Experts say Asian American women are overrepresented in frontline fields like retail, restaurant, and personal care. Well, the price to buy a home is increasing, and so is the cost to build one. Despite the ongoing surge in the real estate market, with prices going up roughly 20% compared to last year, a record number of homes are under construction. U.S. Census Bureau says more than 1.6 million homes were being built in March. That's the most number of homes under construction since 1973. And those deciding to build a home are dealing with backlogs to get crucial supplies like windows and drain pipes that are lasting weeks and even months in some cases. We'll be right back with more after this. But first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
I'm being told it's spring fling season. Interpret that as you wish. Turtles on the hunt for love and a courtship that looks perhaps a little different. Jeannie Moose with the story.
Forget snapping turtles. This is a slapping turtle. No wonder the video's gone viral, racking up millions of views. Have these two been watching too much Oscars coverage?
It really feels like slapping is really in this season. Seems to be the move.
Philadelphia comedian Jamie Pappas was wandering the Hines Wildlife Refuge when she spotted the turtles.
What looked like little siblings, like slap fighting.
These turtles aren't just slap happy. What's foremost in their minds is foreplay. Reptile experts say it's spring breeding season and this is a courting ritual.
He's tickling her around her head and her neck, and he's using his claws to demonstrate to her that he would be a good quality mate.
And that he has nice claws.
Yeah, that he has nice long claws.
Long claws. Whatever he was doing, it seemed to work. She was definitely following him. One Twitter user described the video as actual footage of me attempting to flirt in 8th grade. Jamie has posted plenty of comedy videos, but this is the one that broke through. What if I end up owing my whole career to turtle foreplay, she tweeted. Some couldn't resist adding sound effects. This is the kind of courting that leaves even a hot-to-trot female turtle shell-shocked. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
No, Michael. Don't say it. The Skywatch Storm Tracker. Serious stuff now. Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've started our rain. We are underway. It's been spotty at best. Pittsburgh, pretty much our definitive line. Let's take Highway 126 for that matter. Get up to the north of that. We've yet to see any big, that's because everything's moving in from the south. Got a mess on their hands down in OKC that's resulted in a severe thunderstorm warning. Not affecting us, but give you an idea that this thing is not messing around. And we are going to be mired in anywhere from several inches of rain by the time we get into Thursday and Friday. That's because once we start in earnest later this morning, those flood watches lasting all the way until Thursday afternoon. Give you an idea here, later this morning, and we're all encompassed. Everybody's going to end up with rain today and tomorrow. That's that big band that we've been eyeballing from about, say, 9 p.m. tonight to 2 a.m. tomorrow. As it continues to roll through on Thursday into Friday, the biggest threat is going to be flooding. However, tonight, that one band that rolls through, winds and possibility of hail the farther south that you get into northeast Oklahoma. We'll be back with more KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. Chief Justice John Roberts has ordered an investigation into the leak of a February draft opinion on abortion. The document published Monday by Politico indicates the Supreme Court is prepared to overturn Roe v. Wade, the 1973 decision legalizing abortion. Russian troops have resumed their assault on Mariupol steel mill, occupied by Ukrainian resistance fighters. The attack began shortly after a large group of civilians was evacuated from the facility. And writer J.D. Vance has won the Ohio GOP Senate primary. The Hillbilly Elegy author benefited from a late endorsement from former President Donald Trump. Vance will face Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan for the seat now held by retiring Republican Senator Rob Portman.
We are underway, rain moving in from the south, so it's officially on for the next 2.5 days. Flood warnings lasting all the way until Thursday afternoon.
All right, don't forget about the Domino Masters Domino giveaway. The semifinals of the hit Fox TV series knocks down the competition tonight at 8 on Fox 14, and the finals are next Wednesday. Just
better give yourself time.
Newsnow.com/giveaway for the complete details. Oh, this is not going to take very long at all. I just wanted to get 3 more up because that's what I have in my hand. Literally down to the wire.
19. It is like Domino Masters where they have a clock. I want to see you time this out. Thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.
Yeah!